Ever finish Berserk and feel like your soul's been crushed, revived, and then crushed again? Yeah, same here. There's just something about that brutal, dark world and Guts' endless fight against fate that sticks with you. And once it's over, you're left staring at your screen like, so, what now? Well, don't worry. Today, we're diving into 6 anime like Berserk that don't just capture the same dark, gritty vibe, but also deliver the kind of story that grabs your throat and doesn't let go. Let's go. This is Emiverse Anime. Watch this video to the end and hit that subscribe button now. At number 6, we have Ninja Scroll. All right, first up, Ninja Scroll. If Berserk is a brutal medieval nightmare, then Ninja Scroll is its samurai-era cousin that grew up on black coffee and sword fights. This anime follows Jubei, a wandering swordsman who just wants a quiet life, but ends up slashing his way through a clan of superpowered demons. Sounds chill, right? The animation? Insane for its time. The violence? Oh, it's very present. Heads roll, blood sprays, limbs fly. Basically, it's a Tuesday. But it's not just shock value. Ninja Scroll gives you that same lone warrior vibe Guts has, facing impossible odds, dealing with betrayal, and walking a lonely path because no one else can do what he does. And let's be real, if Guts and Jubei ever met, they'd probably size each other up, grunt once, then silently nod in mutual respect before going off to kill more demons. So, if you liked Berserk for its grit, gore, and swordplay, Ninja Scroll will feel like coming home, if home was on fire and full of monsters. At number 5, we have Claymore. Ah yes, Claymore. AKA, what if Guts was a woman and instead of the brand of sacrifice, she had silver eyes and chopped demons in half with a giant sword? This anime is straight up Berserk with estrogen. Claire, the main character, is part of a group of women warriors who are part human, part monster, and entirely badass. They fight these creatures called Yoma, monsters that eat humans and can disguise themselves as one of us. So, yeah, paranoia, blood, and tragedy are kind of a daily routine. What Claymore nails is that bleak atmosphere. The world feels hopeless, the fights are brutal, and everyone's got emotional baggage the size of a freight train. You'll even find some familiar themes: revenge, losing your humanity, and going beyond your limits even when it hurts. Basically, if you ever looked at Guts and thought, this man really needs a hug and a nap, you'll feel the same way about Claire. Also, bonus points. The Claymore sword is literally half the size of the user. Physics? We don't know her. At number 4, we have Fist of the North Star time to get old school with Fist of the North Star. If Berserk is Shakespeare with blood, Fist of the North Star is Mad Max meets Chuck Norris, with extra explosions and chest punches. Kenshiro is the main dude here. He's quiet, jacked, and probably made out of pure testosterone. He walks through a post-apocalyptic wasteland where people explode like water balloons because he touches their pressure points. Not joking. It's one of those shows where the hero doesn't just defeat the bad guys, he annihilates them with style. But underneath the muscles and catchphrases, "You're already dead," is a story about love, loss, and being the only one strong enough to protect the weak. That's very Guts core, if you ask me. And while Fist of the North Star leans more into the over-the-top action, it still delivers that sense of epic tragedy and burdened heroism you felt watching Berserk. Plus, it's a classic. And sometimes, to understand the present, you gotta fist punch through the past. At number 3, we have Gantz. Okay, we're taking a sharp turn from swords and fantasy to aliens, guns, and a whole lot of what the hell just happened. Gantz is messed up, in a good, horrifying, please make it stop but don't kind of way. Here's the setup. You die. Then you wake up in a room with a black ball that tells you to kill aliens or die again. Oh, and the aliens? They're creepy, twisted, and sometimes weirdly adorable, which somehow makes them scarier. Unlike Berserk, where you have time to breathe between the horror, Gantz shoves your face in it from episode 1. The characters are selfish, scared, and deeply flawed, just like real people caught in an unreal nightmare. What ties it to Berserk is that same unrelenting darkness. No one is safe. No one stays innocent. And the deeper you go, the more you question everything. There's no giant sword here, but there's a different kind of brutality. Psychological, existential, and yeah, bloody. If you liked how Berserk made you question the meaning of life while watching demons eat people, Gantz is calling your name, probably in a whisper from a pitch-black corner. At number 2, Jinro the Wolf Brigade. Now, slow down. Take a breath. Because Jinro isn't action-packed like the others, but it hits hard, like emotionally. Set in an alternate timeline where Japan is under strict militarized control, this anime follows Kazuki Fuse, a soldier from a special unit that wears creepy, glowing red-eyed armor and hunts terrorists. But it's not about guns and glory. It's about guilt, trauma, humanity, and how easy it is to lose yourself when the world turns you into a weapon. It's slow, yes, but the payoff? Beautifully tragic. The tone? Just like Berserk on its quiet days, when it's not all demons and sword fights, but Guts staring into a campfire, questioning why he even bothers. And there's this recurring Red Riding Hood metaphor that just works. Trust me, watch it with a calm mind and let it sink in. So, if you love Berserk not just for the action, but for the deep, aching sadness underneath, Jinro will leave you thinking long after the credits roll. At number 1, we have Black Clover Mummer. Now, I know what you're thinking. Black Clover? Really? Isn't that the anime where the main guy screams all the time? Yes. Yes, it is. But hear me out. Black Clover might look like a standard shonen at first glance, but if you stick with it, it starts feeling very Berserk-like in disguise. Asta, the main character, has no magic in a world where magic is everything. Kind of like how Guts has no fancy powers in a world full of apostles and monsters. What does Asta have instead? A big ol' anti-magic sword, unmatched determination, and the kind of never-give-up attitude that would make Guts smirk in approval. The fights get intense, the story gets darker, the world expands, and suddenly you realize this happy-go-lucky underdog tale is turning into a saga of war, betrayal, trauma, and characters who suffer just as much as they grow. Plus, Asta's sword literally cancels magic. It's like if Guts could nullify Griffith's plot armor. Tell me that's not satisfying. So if you want the Berserk vibes, but with a little more light, more hope, and a protagonist who actually smiles once in a while, Black Clover is worth your time. Look, nothing will ever truly replace Berserk. That series is one of a kind, beautiful, brutal, and endlessly tragic. But these 6 anime, they scratch that same itch, whether it's the raw violence, the deep emotional scars, the hopeless worlds, or the lone warriors who keep fighting even when it hurts. They've all got a piece of that Berserk spirit. So, the next time you're missing Guts and his oversized sword, maybe check one of these out. Just maybe keep the lights on. Some of these get dark. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which anime wrecked your emotions the hardest. Catch you in the next one.